All right, welcome again to our channel. This is Tochukwu Excel. Today we're going to look at the basic ribbons and tabs in Excel at the basic function. In our previous video, we have tried to explain Excel, the anatomy of Excel, but today we're going to concentrate on the ribbons, the tabs, and the groups. All right, so once you open an Excel worksheet, you will have this interface, which is what we're going to deal with today at the basic level. We have also the intermediate interface and the advanced interface in Excel. So first of all, you have the quick access toolbar that is here, right? So you can move it upwards or downwards. So move it above the ribbon, it will go up. You come here again and then right click here and move it. You can also customize it, add and remove what you want. So but let's look at the tabs quickly. So the first tab that you have, the other version is called menu. Some people still use menu, but the more correct term is tab. So you have the tab right below the quick access toolbar. All right, so you have your file, you have your home, you have insert, draw, play, formula, data, review, view, and help, right? Depending on the version of Excel you are using. So the file takes you to the backstage of Excel. This is where you have your you want to save a new document, a blank new sheet. You'll be here. Then Excel also have different templates that they can help you to work with. So you have billing statement, you have your blood pressure tracker, expense report, loan and amortization. Also, you have also more. Then you also have more template that you can use. So you also have, after the new, you have the open, then you have the save, you have the save as, you have the print, and you have the share. One of the major features Excel have integrated is sharing of Excel online real time, right? So for you to go back to your main sheet from the backstage, which is from the file, is you click on this arrow right by the top left. It will take you back to the main view of Excel, right? So we are in the sheet one. So let's go quickly into it. So home is used to refer to where you stay. So most of the time when you open Excel, the default landing page for Excel is the home page, and it's where you have most collection of most of the widely most used tools in Excel. So you discover that when you click on the home tab, it will open the home ribbon. Okay, let's click on the insert tab, it will open the insert ribbon. Click on the draw tab, it will open the draw ribbon, and like that. So let's go back to the home ribbon. So here is the home ribbon. You also discover that these ribbons are combined into group of similar tools. So the first group you have under the home ribbon is you have the clipboard. The clipboard. So this is cut a clipboard. Then this is format painter. What is format painter? Format painter is used to copy the format. Let me type Tochukwu, right? And let me type Tochukwu and change the format of this particular type. Let me change the color, change the text color, and then change the font style, right? So I now typed another one. I typed Chidebere, Chidi. So instead of going to try to understand the format, the font size, and everything in this particular cell E3 to this, so what I will do, I'll click on this cell and click on format painter, and I will come to the place I want the format to be painted. It will copy all the format, all the existing format in this particular first cell and paste it in this second cell. You can copy and paste in the whole range or the whole sheet, right? That's the function of this format painter. So let's go to the next group, which is your fonts. Font is how your text look like. So let me repeat. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so this is our Tochukwu that we typed, right? So this is your font. This is your font style. So you have different style. You can select different style. So most times what I do is I Okay, let me move this so that it will be very visible. So let's move it here. So if you select the particular cell or range or document you want to change the font. So once you click on the font style or the theme, once you keep going, moving between different styles, showing you how it will look like. So let's use Algerian, and then this is the size that you can use. You also discover that the maximum size is 72 by default, but I can decide to put 100. So if the size you are looking for, these are most widely used size. That's why Excel put it here. But you can use any size of your choice. So there's no 15 here, but I can put 15 and you press enter. There is no 100, I can put 100 and you press enter. It will give you the size of the 100, right? So let's take it back with Control Z. So here is your bold. Then once you click on it, the text becomes bold, italize it, underline it. Now it's very important to know that any tool in Excel that you discover that has a pointing arrow, that's a drop down, it means that that particular key has more than one function. That's why it is. So for you to see the other function of it, you click by that drop down. So for underline, you have single underline and then double underline. Then this is your borders. Borders is line because these default cell lines are not printable. So for you to print the lines on your Excel, you will impute the border. So you click on the arrow. Remember what I said, any key that have an arrow means it has more than one function for that particular key. So once you click on the arrow, it will give you the different functions that you can do. You can now come and select. You now have bottom borders, top borders. Most likely people use all borders, but also different border settings. So this particular border settings will be treated at our intermediate class. So you also have the fill, the color fill. So this is the background fill. So if you look at it from even the design, you have a paint pouring on the ground. So this is the background fill. So once you click it, it will open the color palette for you to select the different background that you want. Remember to highlight what you're doing. So this is the A. You have your font color. So the color of the font, what you have typed. So here I have Tochukwu is black. So if I click on it, it turns red. If I want to change it, I click on the drop down to any color of my choice. So here you have the increase font. So if you want to increase the font without typing, just keep on clicking it. It will keep increasing the font, and the reverse is this, so it will keep going down. We also have shortkeys for that. So once we are done with this font group, we go to alignment group. So alignment group, let me take this thing back to, okay, let me just delete it and type all right. So let me increase the both the row height and the column width. All right. So here you have the alignment. Alignment is the placement of your text inside the cell. Remember in our first video, we talked about that if it is not in a cell, it is not Excel. We're going to still explain that in later version, but just know that for you to work on Excel, you must put your data inside a cell for Excel to be able to manipulate it, right? So here is top alignment. So if you click on it, your text will go up, right? But because that the text height and the row height for most Excel is almost the same thing. So if you did not increase your row height, we're also going to teach you how to increase row height in our next video. If you did not increase your row height and you are clicking top, middle, and bottom, you will not know. But once you increase your row height, like in this particular cell L3, you will know that this is on top alignment. Then you have the middle alignment and you have the bottom alignment. That's up, middle, down. So let's click on it. And then once you click on a cell, always look at your home bar. It will show you some highlighted features on that particular cell. So you click middle, it comes to the middle. You click bottom, it goes to the bottom. The same thing applies to the left alignment and then the middle alignment, the center alignment, and then the right alignment. By default, a cell aligns text to the left while it aligns numbers to the right. But I can change that. So, but once you see any number that is aligned to the left, that means Excel is not seeing that number as a number. It's seeing that number as a text. Now see what happened. I just added semicolon on this particular 23, and Excel automatically moved it to the left because Excel is now seeing it as a text rather than a number. That is what we're going to treat in our subsequent videos. So now you also have the orientation. The orientation is how Excel will place your document. So once you click on it, you click on this angle of counterclockwise, you click on it, it will change the orientation of your particular document. So if you want to remove it, you go back and then remove that particular one. So however you want it to be rotating upwards for any sides on however you want it. So but once you don't need it again, you go back and then uncheck that button. So I also want to give you this particular tool. This is called wrap text. Wrap text is used when you want to increase the row height without increase the column width. If you type anything beyond the length of the cell, the length of the column of the cell, but you don't want it to keep increasing in row. Why we use wrap is because the A4, the printable papers that we have a fixed width, but the length you can keep increasing it by printing paper. So when for you to print a work, you will need to make sure that the width of the printable portion of your work is confirming to A4 size or A3 size, depending on what you're going to use, but most times it's always fixed. So wrap is to increase the row height by default without increasing the row width. Okay, so let me type Tochukwu Excel class 2025. So you discover that these texts have exceeded the length of the cell. So there are different options, but this particular one, I want to wrap it. I'll now go to this particular text and click on wrap text. You discover that the row height have increased, but the column maintains the same width. So this particular one is to merge. To merge, you want to have a subheader or a header where you have Tochukwu Excel class. Okay, let me copy this one and put it in J3, right? In J3, so it's merging. So let me unwrap it, right? So I want to have under Tochukwu Excel class, I'll have dates, and then I have time, and I have age. Okay, so I now want this particular Tochukwu Excel class to be on top of all these three lines. So what I will do, I'll select the places I want to merge, and by default it's selected at merge and center. You click on it, it will merge them into one cell. So there are also different options there. You can merge across, you can merge, and you can also unmerge, right? So that is for alignment. So let's go to the next group, which is called numbers. Okay, so let's continue from the next group, which is called numbers. So you see this box and you see this arrow. By default, Excel sees any input you are making as by general. So it will just take the default setting of Excel, but you can also change this setting by clicking on this arrow. So you have general, you have numbers, you have currencies, you have accounting, short dates, long dates, and time, percentage, fraction, and text. So you can define the format of a particular cell, range, or the whole column or the whole row, right? That's what you use this to select. So let me type some numbers. Let me type okay, let me change this to amounts. Let me change it to amounts, and I'll type 20,000 naira. 20,000 naira. So because it is a number, Excel aligns it to the right immediately. So but I want to include the commas here. So once you click this 1,000 naira separator, once you highlight it and click the 1,000 naira separator, it will highlight it. But here is where you use to increase the number of zeros after the decimal point. So once you keep increasing it, it will keep going, you keep reducing it, it will be coming down. That's the opposite of it. So this is the percentage. If I want to do percentage of this number, it will put it like that, right? So let's go to the next group, which is style, right? So this style is we treat it more on the intermediate class, but just for your information, you have different types of formatting, right? So you have highlight by cell rules, top bottom rules, and all that. So then let's go to the next one, which is cells, right? So you can insert a cell if you want. You insert a cell, it will tell you shift cell right, cell down. It depends on how you want to insert your cell, right? You can also use this place to delete the cell. Now, but I also want us to quickly look at this last option, because most of you may not have the add-ons, but this one is for the advanced level. So this particular place is some of the basic functions in Excel. So you have the sum. This is auto sum. You want to sum something. Once you highlight it, so let's just do this amount. We do 20,000. Okay, let me format the whole column. So 20,000, I have second person is 90,000 naira. Then next person is 2,000 naira. So I want to sum this thing. So this data, I'll just click on it and then come here and click on auto sum. It will sum it for me. But you also have the drop down for it. So if I want to sort, this is sort and filter, this is fine. We'll just do sort and filter. So you click on the heading you want to select your sort, you click on this is sort from A to Z, from Z to A, highest to lowest, lowest to highest. Then filter, you click on filter, it will put a filter drop down for you on top. You can click on it to be able to select your filter. All right, thank you very much. This is the end of the file and home class. This is Tochukwu Excel. Thank you very much.